All right, let's start really simple. Let's say you and a few friends buy a pizza. You each throw in a few bucks or a few forints where I'm at, and now all of you own a piece. But what if I told you you could split that pizza into digital slices? Slices that you can send, sell, or even borrow money against. It sounds silly, right? But now imagine instead of pizza, it's a building or a business or a loan. And instead of handing out greasy paper plates, you hand out tokens. That's what tokenizing is. Taking something real, breaking it into pieces, and putting those pieces onto the internet, especially on something called a blockchain. So you can track who owns what. Simple idea, big impact. Now, I live in Budapest, but I'm from the US. But I've got people all around me here in Central Europe and folks back home, and people even in India who are asking me the same question. Is this blockchain stuff legit or just more crypto hype? And I get it. The last few years have been wild. Coins going up, coins crashing, but tokenization isn't about hype. It's about infrastructure. It's about turning real-world assets into something you can hold, trade, or use digitally. Let me walk you through it. Let's say there's a guy named Laszlo here in Budapest. Laszlo invests 100,000 euros into an apartment building in District 7. Every year, he gets 8,000 euros back as a return. That's a solid 8%. Pretty good, right? But here's the problem. The original 100K? It's stuck. If Laszlo needs to pull that money out, say his kid wants to study in Berlin, or the roof starts leaking, he can't just sell a share. He has to wait until the whole building is sold, or hope that the company handling his investment is willing to buy him out, which they're only willing to do at a discount. It's slow, painful, and full of red tape. That's what we mean when we say illiquid. The money's there, but it's locked up. Now enter tokenization. Let's say instead of signing a paper contract or waiting 10 years to get his money back, Laszlo receives 100,000 digital tokens. Each one represents a slice of ownership in that apartment building. He keeps those tokens in a secure app, kind of like an online wallet. And if someone else, let's say Priya in Mumbai, wants to buy into this building, she doesn't have to call a lawyer or schedule a meeting in Hungary. She just buys Laszlo's tokens. Bam. Ownership transferred. It's like buying shares in a company, but way easier. Now let me bring myself into it. I live here in Budapest, but let's say I decide to buy a small property back in LA. Maybe a duplex near where I grew up. I tokenize it. That means I break the value of that building into 100,000 digital tokens. And I hold them in my wallet, on my phone, while I'm sitting at a cafe here in the 7th district. Each token contains details about the building: address, value, rental income, expenses, maintenance history, all of it stored on the blockchain. It's transparent and secure. Now, let's say I want to sell part of my stake. 300 tokens to free up some cash. I don't need a broker in California. I just list the tokens on a blockchain-based marketplace. Meanwhile, Tommy in London, he's been looking to invest into US real estate. He goes through KYC, Know Your Customer, basically a security check, gets approved, and sees my tokens. He buys them. In that moment, he now owns 30% of my building in LA. He starts getting his share of the rent payments. I've freed up liquidity. No middleman. No legal back and forth. He's in London, I'm in Budapest. The asset is in Los Angeles, and the blockchain handled the whole thing. That's what we mean by global borderless investing. And the cool part, if I didn't want to sell those tokens, I could still use them as collateral. I could lock them into a smart contract, automated code that works like a digital loan agreement, and borrow against them. If I repay the loan, I keep my tokens. And if I don't, the lender gets them. No paperwork, no drama. It's programmed. Now, I know blockchain still sounds scary to some people, but here's all it means. It's a secure digital ledger, a record-keeping system that's online, decentralized, and very hard to mess with. Once something's added, it's public and locked in. No shady edits, no hidden deals. And because all the tokens are live on the blockchain, you get proof of ownership, transaction history, and rules, all built into the system. But none of this works without data, real-world info that updates the value of the asset. That's where oracles come in. Not the lady from the Matrix, but systems like Chainlink that fetch data, like property appraisals, rental income, maintenance costs, and feed that into the token. So when Peter in London looks at my LA building, he can see exactly what he's buying, down to the last decimal. It's not blind investment. It's informed, real, and digital. And check this out. It's not just buildings. You can tokenize invoices too. A small logistics company in the US waiting 30 days to get paid 100K. I buy that invoice today for $95K. They get quick cash to pay staff. I get the full $100K in a month. Boom, 5% return in 30 days. And that invoice lives on the chain too. So everything's traceable. Even the goods can be tokenized. If I don't get paid, guess who owns that cargo of Hungarian paprika? That's right, me. And I guess I'll be starting a spice brand. So look, this isn't about jumping on another crypto trend. Tokenization is about real assets, things people already invest in, just made smarter, faster, and more open. Whether you're in Los Angeles, Budapest, London, or Berlin, this technology levels the playing field. There are some places in the world that we still have regulations to sort out, but the foundation is there. And once it clicks, this thing is going to explode. So if you're still thinking, is this for me? Just stick around. We're just getting started.